Laowa kindly sent me this lens for this review. It's a 15mm full frame prime lens for the Nikon Z mount, ranging from f5 to f22. It's a very compact and light lens at 170 grams, and with a price bracket around $400, it will neither break your back nor your bank. There are no electronics in this lens, only metal and glass, so no autofocus, no vibration reduction, and no CPU contacts. I must admit that I missed the latter to get my EXIF information correct without setting up a non-CPU lens. The focus throw is short. I think I measured less than a quarter of a turn, but for landscape and architecture shooting, I think this will be okay. When you're shooting with this 15mm lens on a full frame camera, the angle of view is 110 degrees, which is wide. It's a bit like your mother-in-law, you have a feeling it sees everything. The wide lens on my iPhone has an angle of view of 120 degrees, so if you use the wide lens on your smartphone, it may actually come close to shooting with this one. The minimum focus distance is 12 centimeters, and you can get really close to your subject, but be aware that it may not render your subject the way you had hoped for, and I guess here you can see that an image sometimes says more than 1,000 words. The lens has 5 straight blades, and relative to rounded blades you can see it produces some very beautiful sun stars. The price you have to pay is that when you stop down the lens, your bokeh looks a little bit boxy, but that's a price that I'm willing to pay. The flare is clearly dampened, as you can see here. It's not the strongest I have seen, but it certainly kicks in. The level of flare control is very much personal preference, so I let you be the judge here. Looking at the sharpness wide open and fully stopped down, the center sharpness is great at f22, even at the risk of a bit of diffraction, whereas it is a bit soft wide open. The same can be said for the corner sharpness, which in both cases is a bit soft. You will also notice the heavy vignetting that this lens produces. Of course, this can be countered in post, but it is rather dramatic. If you follow the bricks in either the top or the bottom of this image, you can see that the lens suffers from pincushion distortion. In my experience, this is difficult to correct in post, and hence I cannot see myself shooting architecture with this lens. For landscape, the distortion is less of an issue, of course, as most won't even notice. This is intended to be a little and funny lens, but if we start with the price, I find the price neither little nor funny, considering that this is a tiny wide prime. Further, the lens has both distortion and vignetting and comes with no comfort features at all. So for me, I'd rather be saving a little longer to get a more expensive lens with better optics. That may put more strain on both my bank and my back, but that I'm willing to sacrifice. Your mileage may vary, of course. As always, thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.